Welcome to OverHerd at Deer Valley. I'm your host, Kaylin Richardson. I'm a two-time Olympian pro skier, and Deer Valley has been my home mountain for over 10 years. Here, I'm going to talk with different leaders, heroes, and characters about what they believe makes the Deer Valley difference. There has not been a more exciting time here at Deer Valley since when it opened in 1981. Over the next 2 seasons, Deer Valley is going to double in size with expanded terrain, expanded amenities, which adds up to expanded excellence. With all the news circulating, there is no one better to communicate all these developments than the Director of Communications, Emily Summers. Emily, first off, before we get into the expansion, I want to hear about your story. You've been here for almost 2 decades, and I've worked with you for almost half of those. And all I know is our Midwest connection. How did you go from Michigan to being the head of communications here at Deer Valley?
Yeah, it's a wild journey, but there's a lot of Michiganders out here. I actually did not grow up skiing. I went to college at Michigan State University, made some friends, joined the ski club, which was really a club, not a team by any means. And we ended up on my junior year going out to Steamboat. And on that trip, I skied the green major run, I think it's still called Why Not, over and over and over at Steamboat. And I made a lot of friends. And I went back to finish out my college career, and I started meeting friends that were coming out here to finish out the ski season, come be ski instructors, finish their spring season here at Deer Valley. And that was really because we had so many Michigan ties in leadership, and one being Bob Wheaton, our former president, and the connections to some of the smaller resorts in Michigan. So that's really how I found out about Deer Valley, and then I basically just pounded on their door until they hired me the next winter.
Well, it worked out for you. You're still here, and from what I understand, Deer Valley is not just an occupational landscape. You have a lot of cherished memories here. What are some of the most fondest personal memories?
There's a handful. So I've been really lucky. I moved here right after college. I didn't know anyone. I really look at those early years as creating a family here at Deer Valley and in the greater part of Park City, and the network this place has given me. We all come here for that shared love of skiing, and so there's always something in common. So it's really started off with creating my family and my new home, and that led itself into meeting my husband, who then proposed here skiing at Deer Valley with many of my coworkers, pretty much family members there. We got married in fall of 2017 at Empire Canyon Lodge. Nothing to me is more beautiful than the golden aspens, and being able to show our home that brought us together to our families. His family's from Boston area, and then my family mostly Michigan, and it was really amazing to bring them there in that venue. Then we announced our pregnancy up in the same venue, the photo shoot. And that was weirdly 4 days before the world shut down for the pandemic. So became a pandemic mommy. And when it was time to come back to work, the daycare here is incredible and just down the hall. And my daughter has been going there for almost 4 years now. So we're pretty entwined.
It is truly it's not just the place you work, it is your home, it is your network, it is your community. Engaged, married, announcement for baby. I love it. I feel like if you were gonna pick out one person that is completely the tapestry of your life, Deer Valley is just in every single little cranny of it, which is amazing. Do you feel like having that deeper connection informs your day-to-day work and keeps you more inspired?
Yeah, I know the product really well, and it's very weird to call it the product, but this place or this destination, I have a big connection to it. Like, I know what that memory of having my family here for the wedding, or watching my daughter ski on Wide West last winter and basically saying, Mom and Dad, don't come near me, I got it. Like, I have those connections, those core memories that we're trying to help create for everyone else that chooses to come here.
I'm also a pandemic mommy. Our little girls have had play dates. We both have 4-year-olds, sassy, opinionated, love it. We'll want to continue to nurture that. What has surprised you about taking Lucy out skiing? Because I know that you feel the joy I feel, but I'm always curious about what other mothers' experience are that surprises them.
There's a couple. I guess this isn't such a surprise, but one of the things I love is she sings everything. And so she is the child that is going down the slope skiing. And we did mic her up, mostly so that I could figure out what she was saying when I was behind her. How resilient they are. You know, I learned as an adult. My husband learned at her age, at 2 or 3. And it's pretty amazing to watch them. And now We are so lucky we drive in here every day, and the minute it started snowing, the minute she saw a snow gun, every single morning it's, Mom, are we skiing today? And I'm like, no, not yet. But she's looking forward to it, and it's getting me more excited, and being able to see it through her eyes is just a whole different perspective after all these years.
It's so true. I was just being interviewed recently, and they asked me what my summit experience has been the last few years, just as a pro athlete. And I actually had to give them an answer I don't think they were anticipating, and that's seeing my daughter have those summit experiences of doing her first green run all by herself, stopping on her own, getting off the chairlift basically on her own. All those times I didn't realize, I kind of anticipated that it was gonna be a little monotonous these first couple seasons until she could really ski, quote unquote. But I was so wrong. It is some of the most fun, most cherished memories. And like, I have a blast skiing with her. And we're just lapping success, right? It's not like it's crazy terrain, but it is so much fun. And I also, there's a lot happening at Deer Valley right now with the Expanded Excellence, some things that our daughters will even enjoy that we can get to. But right now, what are the major highlights for the 24-25 season?
Yeah, personally, it's getting Lucy back on skis and watching her at 4, and she'll be in 2-on-1 lessons, so she'll have a friend with her. And then professionally, and the lines are blurred in that personal and professional, is getting into this new terrain. It's something that I've looked at and been dreaming about with our past leaders and our current leaders and our guests, and saying one day we're gonna go ski that ridgeline. One day we're gonna be in that terrain. And that one day for me was last winter. And so I got that, that taste of what's to come, and I'm ready for more people to come out and see it with us.
And Deer Valley did give some tours last season to season pass holders, some community members, and then staff members. And I actually got to ski some of it for some photo shoots and some video shoots. And what I have to say, it's so much more vast and varied than Highway 40 would lead you to believe. And what I'll tell people is that it's like got glades, it's got steeps. It definitely, I think everyone thinks it's gonna be more beginner terrain, and there definitely is that, but it is some amazingly fun. Like, I feel like there's a little pieces of Deer Valley that are in there. Like, there's this one run that we skied that was very much akin to Flagstaff Mountain with these beautiful blues. There were some gladed runs. There's some really steeper stuff to be had. And can you kind of paint the picture of what is opening what's opening right now?
Yeah, I think you described it perfectly, because we are taking the Deer Valley people know today and basically doubling it. So you might love the chutes. There's gonna be something comparable there. I can tell you right now, there are many groomers like Stein's Way coming our way in the future. This year, pretty crazy. We always promised to be open with this expansion in 25-26, but here we are a year early, over-delivering. It's the hard work of our team, it's the excitement, it's Mother Nature's cooperation, like everything is just coming together to really over-deliver. And now we're calling it like phase 1.1A, because we're a year ahead. So we're gonna see 3 brand new chairlifts, really exciting. Keatley Express is our first 6-pack and bubble chair here at Deer Valley. So a huge improvement. That is going to connect the new Deer Valley East Village into our existing terrain near the Salton Express chairlift. So it adds another corridor into the resort, and it is going to significantly connect the two areas pretty seamlessly. Like it's basically dropping a rope line once that lift is in. Then we're adding Hoodoo Express, and that is going to service a new beginner area outside of the Deer Valley East Village. So opening up more access for people learning to ski, being a beginner level, if you're staying or accessing Deer Valley from our new gateway. And then the Aurora is a return lift if you're coming down from our new extended McHenry's run into the East Village. It'll return you back there.
And so that will get you back to East Village. Okay, that's amazing. That's so much new. That Keatley Express, I love a bubble chair.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Deer Valley's been needing, and that box is checked. So how do you feel like this new gateway is going to improve the Deer Valley experience? We've got, more beginner terrain. We've got all this new terrain. We've got this new place that you can enter Deer Valley from Highway 40. You don't have to go through the sometimes quagmire of Deer Valley. What are you seeing as the really great pluses to this from a guest standpoint?
Yeah, we are offering, when it's all built out and said and done, we'll basically have 2 base areas, like people know Snow Park today. And it's just giving more options, more space, more places for skiers to play, to access, to learn. And the corridor of Highway 40 is something to really look for in terms of access. It's giving more accessibility to our residents in Heber, Camas, even from Salt Lake. It's just more options, more day skier parking. we just keep saying everything's more Deer Valley, just way more to explore.
And we've been wanting that. I
Yes.
think people want more Deer Valley. And from what I understand, it's 500 new spots in that
Yes.
area. Is the Grand Hyatt going to be operational? Can people stay there this season, or is it just going to be a place to base from? Because I know there's going to be ski valet.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a way to transport from the parking to Keatley Express. Can you kind of take us through what that sort of flow is going to be?
Absolutely. So the first property there in the new Deer Valley East Village is open. It's the Grand Hyatt Deer Valley. They just opened, and they are excited to be the first property offering overnight stays, F&B, food and beverage amenities, restaurants, and they're just thrilled to be part of Deer Valley, and they just opened. And they will really be the place to stop in as you're accessing out of that village this year. We as Deer Valley have a temporary skier services facility for the next 2 to 3 years before we have our permanent facility in there. And you'll be able to rent skis, meet your ski instructor, do lessons all out of that facility as well. And we will have, just like our guests are used to at Snow Park, the Deer Valley Guest Service Team, the Green Jackets, they will be stationed at the Deer Valley East Village and all the new parking spots. And we will have a version of our legendary tram to get people to the lifts.
Ah, fantastic. So like you said, it really is just more of the goodness, more of the excellence, and the level of hospitality that we know at Deer Valley, but just there's going to be more space for people. There's going to be more capacity for people, which I think is huge. And I know that I'm excited to go park from that way. I live in Park City, but I definitely come in through the Kimball Junction, which can get really bogged down. So I think that just giving the people the opportunity to access and enter Deer Valley from another spot in such a seamless way is huge. Over 300 acres of skiable terrain is opening this season. What are some of the runs that you're super excited for our guests to experience?
I'm really looking forward to the extension of McHenry's, as it's going to go from the base of Salton, where it ends today, to the base of our new Aurora chairlift at the Deer Valley East Village. So it's doubling in size. It's an incredible green run that'll take people across 4 of our peaks here at Deer Valley. And I think that'll be a really good exploration into how vast this terrain is.
What's been so fun for me when I share the mountain with skiers is that when I have someone that's more of a novice, they can ski basically every single mountain, save Empire, and be on greens. So this is gonna be such a fun journey from the top of Flagstaff all the way across and to that Aurora lift, and maybe even taking them down to Deer Valley East Village to grab a bite, see the new terrain. And I think that with this new gateway into the resort, we're gonna be able to see these mountains from a new aspect. And I even remember when I skied it last year, looking up at that terrain, just going over one ridge, it's so much bigger than you realize. Because I think that one thing I know is that a lot of people were looking at the expanded excellence from that corner of Homeward Bound at the very top of Bald Mountain. And as you see it, it's just these ridgelines that look like they're pretty stacked. They're actually really far apart. There's so much skiing in between those ridgelines. So I cannot wait to be able to share that with people throughout the season. Another part that is really pivotal about this extended expansion, because it's not just the next 2 years, we're looking 7 years, maybe even 10 years in the future, is Snow Park Lodge and the huge expansion of a resort village. If things go according to plan, what is this gonna look like?
Wow, this is a big project. This is a project that's been in the master plan since the Stearns were here. I tell this story a lot just so that people know how much attention and how big of a dream this was for our founders. But when I started in 2006, I was handed the blueprints for the groundbreaking in 2008 on this project. So this is another one that I'd really love to see come to fruition. And it's really creating that world-class arrival experience, that village, that epitome of ski resorts where you want to stay and pray around the fire, maybe ice skate. We're going to move all the parking underground there at Snow Park. It's something I'm most looking forward to as I go through the arrival experience every day, both as an employee, as a skier, as a mom dropping off for daycare. I hope to see that come to fruition at my time here at Deer Valley. And if all things come together, we're hoping to break ground on it this spring. So I would love to see that come together.
That is amazing. I'm not going to hold my breath because I know that there is a lot of hurdles we have to get over before that takes place, but breaking ground this spring would be amazing. And don't get me wrong, I am so grateful for all the parking that is at the bottom of Snow Park, especially it's free parking. That's amazing for our guests and has been. But I will say having that that entrance, like that resort feel, like being able to sit down by a fire, maybe having like s'mores, all like the ice skating, that whole, I feel like that is something that would elevate Deer Valley to even a greater degree. And it would also support what the whole main street of Park City. It would be an extension of that. And I think that it would, for everyone that lives here, everyone that has been coming here for years or has never been here, it would just kind of put the cherry on top of this whole excellence expansion.
Yeah, and it would add a state-of-the-art transportation center that we already have an incredible infrastructure here in Park City with our free bus system, and we would become a hub and a place where we would have more access to transit lines and this incredible facility where taking free transit to the resort might become more of the norm anyway.
And that would be amazing because we know that there is a bit of that pain point getting into Deer Valley, or not even Deer Valley, but those Deer Valley skiers that are coming from Salt Lake, going through Kimball, going through the main part of downtown Park City. If there was a more seamless way to take that public transportation, that would be fantastic. And also, like you said, there will be more places to stay right in the village to have that more ski in, ski out sort of experience. I'm very excited. And I had no idea it was potentially going to be that soon.
Yeah.
Now that when I'm skiing off Carpenter Lift and I'm looking down on any of those runs down on a snow park, I'm just gonna start to envision this beautiful resort village.
Yeah. And I think one of the shining stars or highlights of that expansion is taking Silver Lake Express and extending it down into where maybe Lot 2 is today. And it becomes this ski beach area that you would get into a gondola that would have a mid-station here at Silver Lake and then eventually go to our Park Peak area in the expansion behind Bald Mountain. So the connectivity, the access, the transportation, all that infrastructure integration is really amazing that we're planning on.
And talking about how people move around a mountain, it's so nice for all those that will be down at Snow Park to be able to access different parts of the mountain more quickly. Because there are gonna be some people that want to ski out of Snow Park for a couple runs to warm up, but then there's some that are just gonna wanna get to the further parts of the mountain, whether it's Deer Valley East Village or it's Empire Peak. When they take that gondola up, it will be a way to move people so that there's not those sticky points.
Yeah. It's going to be a great addition.
There must be some smart people behind all these ideas.
A lot of people working on these for many years, yes.
So we sort of touched upon it that you're very excited about Snow Park, but is there any more specific project that's really personal to you that you're looking forward to?
Perhaps it's tied to the Snow Park, and it's maybe because of the ties I've had in recent years watching my daughter go to our daycare facility, and just calling it a daycare facility is not giving it the justice it deserves. It's a state licensed childcare facility. They actually, once the children turn 3, they're in preschool. She's in a full-time preschool. I can't believe the stuff she's learning. And that also includes the ski school at least once a week while we're in the winter season. And with the Snow Park project, the Snow Park Lodge, as we know it today, is intended to become all of ski school. And so even bigger facilities, more programs, they'll kind of take over that lodge. And I'm really excited to see what that means for both the daycare, the preschool, the winter programming, but also our summer programming. We run a really popular summer camp here too.
I think I did not know that Snow Park was going to become, or the plan is for it to become all ski school. And what an amazing sort of beacon of ski positivity to have it all under one roof there.
Yeah.
And then also Deer Valley East Village will have another, I don't want to say satellite, it'll have another base.
Yes.
But because the ski school is so integral to what is the Deer Valley difference, I think that being able to build upon that and give it a true home is huge.
Yeah, and instill the love of the sport in all our little ones.
It really is. It's so much fun to see Holly and Lucy fall in love with skiing. It's absolutely everything. So Emily, as Director of Communications, I'm going to have to put you on the spot. What is a perfect winter day for you? From favorite run to lunch spot to après order.
Yeah, that is a really hard question for me to answer. It's cliche, but all of them have their own place.
Maybe that's why you've been here for
I get
upwards
to
of 20
be here.
years. Yeah.
I get to be here on a powder day, a groomer day, with all different levels of skiers, with guests, friends, family. So they all kind of fall into that overall winter picture. But
how about a day that's not the greatest? I think that sometimes people are like, of course on a powder day, everyone's smiling, but like let's say a day that's like it's the groomers will always be amazing, but there might be, it's not even slick, but people are like, I had ice. I'm like, that was not ice. That was a firm spot.
Yeah.
I think that we sometimes get a little spoiled here, but like on a day that's just kind of like, it's just a bluebird day, but maybe we haven't had new snow in a while.
And we all have patterns. We ski. Well, everything's always changing, but this year, this past winter, one of my favorite ski days that I added into the mix about once a month is I actually took and planned all of the mothers in the age range of our children, and we would come on Sunday mornings and we do plenty of skiing from 9 to 11. I made them go at a pretty quick pace, and then we were usually some of the first people here in Sticky Wicket, and there is an Empire Gin cocktail on the menu here that is perfectly paired with the loaded waffle fry nachos on the menu. So that was a pretty fun, we did it about one Sunday a month as a girls' day, and that was a pretty good highlight of the last season.
How does one get an invite to this mommy morning? I'm a mommy, I love skiing.
All right, we'll put the date on the calendar.
I'm there. I'm taking a note of everything you said. There's so much to look forward to, whether it is these new runs, Deer Valley East Village, parking there, entering with the 3 new lifts. It is such an exciting time for Deer Valley. But one thing I want to put on your calendar is we have 2 4-year-old girls. That extension of McHenry's, starting on Ontario, is going to be a 4-mile long run. What do you say we take our girls, 4-year-olds, on a 4-mile long run? What could go wrong?
We're going to start early, and we're going to be there before sweeps.
And we're gonna have
We're gonna work on our biceps.
We're gonna have a lot of snacks, a lot of snacks.
But I think we can do it.
Well, we're gonna do it. Well, thank you so much, Emily, for keeping us all up to date as Deer Valley ups the ante on excellence. And thank you all for listening. This has been OverHerd at Deer Valley. We'll see you on the slopes.